Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10 p.m.
The detective that was on scene provided clear communication. Don't do that, drop your firearm. His response to the deputy that was here was, I have to.
Now on News 6, deputies shoot and kill a retired firefighter, the child porn investigation that led them to a deadly confrontation.
We're tracking the tropics. Gabrielle is now the 7th named storm of the season. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas has the projected path and what else is worth watching.
New at 11, Mickey Mouse versus Morgan & Morgan. Why the high-powered law firm is taking Disney to court over a commercial.
And only on News 6, 2 years after a loved one was gunned down inside, his family is suing a local mall. Why they claim the owners put shoppers' lives at risk.
But we start now at 10 with our breaking news out of Longwood tonight. A child porn suspect is dead after Seminole County law enforcement says he pulled out a gun on deputies. I'm Ginger Gadsden. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, glad you're with us tonight. I'm Matt Austin. This took place outside a home near Hatfield Court and East Wekiva Trail. We now know the man shot is retired Seminole County firefighter. News 6 community correspondent Troy Campbell is at the scene with details.
Here behind me, there's still several law enforcement vehicles in the roadway. The sheriff's office says the 68-year-old suspect was shot and killed in the driveway of the home. What were your thoughts when you first saw the law enforcement presence out here?
Just insane. What is it? What's going on? Because it's really like it's good around here, very quiet all the time.
Dwayne Kimbriel lives near Hatfield Court and East Wekiva Trail in Seminole County. He says it's typically a peaceful area.
It's very shocking, right? So it's very quiet, very good around here, and see all the police.
Seminole County Sheriff Dennis Lima says their investigation began last Tuesday when officers conducted a search warrant after receiving a tip about 68-year-old Gary Guckenberger.
The person at that location was using unique characteristics, their email, other characteristics to access child porn. That porn was kids between the age of 3 and 9, and it included bondage, sexual batteries, and the most horrific examples of abuse and neglect that any human being could ever imagine.
The Seminole County Fire Department confirms this social media post to announce Guckenberger's retirement back in 2013 after serving more than 28 years. Sheriff Lima says following a forensic search of several devices taken from Guckenberger, deputies were conducting surveillance outside the home Wednesday after receiving a warrant for his arrest.
As we were conducting surveillance, Gary Guckenberger came out of his house. He was on a walker. He walked down to the middle of the driveway.
But Lima says once officers identified themselves, Guckenberger reached for a gun.
And he immediately reached to his waistband, pulling a .38 revolver out of his waistband and start raising it up. The deputy that was on scene, the detective that was on scene, provided clear communication. Don't do that, drop your firearm. His response to the deputy that was here was, I have to.
Lima says Guckenberger was pronounced dead at the scene.
I'm convinced that his mind was made up should he be confronted with this thing that occurred last week. If there's one person that absolutely knew what was on those devices that were seized, it was him.
And Sheriff Lima says they're still working to determine if Guckenberg had any other victims. They also say FDLE is out here investigating the shooting. In Seminole County, I'm your community correspondent, Troy Campbell, News 6.
Well, tonight we are tracking a tropical storm, the 7th of the season, and this time last night, Gabrielle wasn't even a depression.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. So let's get right over to meteorologist Jonathan Kegas. And Jonathan, this storm does not appear to be a worry for us at all.
Yeah, do not think so. It should stay thousands and thousands of miles off of the Florida coastline. We will watch it bend quickly, and it should not impact any land. It might have a brush with Bermuda. Just look at this thing, though. It's all of this mess. It is not organized by any means, and it should stay that way for the next couple of days. Right now, though, a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. Latest projected path here from the Hurricane Center. It's going to stay very weak and battered over the next few days, and then potentially becoming the next hurricane of the season as it bends close to Bermuda. It should stay east of the island, but nonetheless, it's definitely going to stay away from the United States and certainly Florida as well. Right now, just a couple of downpours hanging out over the Atlantic, most of the rest of tonight and early tomorrow. On the drier side, we'll fire up a few more thunderstorms once we get into tomorrow afternoon. We'll have the timeline on that so you can plan out your Thursday coming up at about 10:19, guys.
Jonathan, thank you. More vigils are planned in Volusia County as Edgewater mourns Officer David Jewell, who was killed Monday at a Circle K while he was off duty. Tonight, and hundreds from around Volusia County packed into Park Avenue. They gathered around Officer Jewell's car, leaving flowers, notes, and wreaths as they now show support for his family and fellow officers. The Volusia Sheriff says 24-year-old Eduardo Mercado, a cashier at the Ormond by the Sea Circle K, shot Jewell 24 times. They say he wasn't given a straightforward motive yet, or so far anyway. Tonight, community correspondent Molly Reed spoke with the officer's best friend.
You see a lot of bad things about cops, but obviously this is, you've got a prime example. Officer Jewell was not one of those guys. He's one that went above and beyond and did the job he loved. He talked about this job all the time, talked about his family and how much he loved it, how much we both loved this job.
Another vigil is planned for Friday and Memorial. A motorcycle ride is also in the works for next weekend. Organizers say they've heard from people as far as Tampa who are interested in participating to pay their respects.
These people put their lives out on the line, and unfortunately, this guy wasn't even working. So that to me is even worse. You get what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, I figured let's do something back for them.
The city started a GoFundMe for his family that has already raised nearly $45,000. We put a link to donate to it on clickorlando.com.
Now to a News 6 exclusive. Nearly 2 years since a family lost a loved one at the Paddock Mall. The victim's family has filed a lawsuit. They claim the mall did not have proper security or safety measures in place at the time of the shooting. 40-year-old David Barron was shot and killed inside the mall just days before Christmas. News 6's Emily McLeod got the lawsuit firsthand. She is pressing the mall's new owners for answers, and their questioning is it now a safe place to shop?
I'm your Ocala community correspondent, Emily McLeod. I have been in the newsroom all afternoon reviewing a lawsuit that was filed by David Barron's family. Now, David Barron was the man that was shot and killed at the Paddock Mall in December of 2023. Simply put, the family believes the mall wasn't doing enough to keep people safe. They say a lack of security guards and surveillance cameras, among several other issues, are what led to the deadly shooting.
In this case, the failures are particularly egregious here.
In 2023, David Barron was shot and killed at the Paddock Mall 2 days before Christmas. Police believe this man, Albert Shell Jr., pulled the trigger. Nearly 2 years later, the family has filed a lawsuit, and they say the Paddock Mall was not safe at the time of the shooting.
I know back then, at this point in time, especially for the risk that not only existed at that mall, but when you couple it with the risk that exists around the holidays, one of the busiest shopping days of the year, December 23rd. The security was entirely inadequate at Paddock.
The lawsuit accuses Paddock Mall, the mall's former owners, Washington Prime Group, and Allied Security of several security shortcomings, including failing to have enough guards in visible areas to deter crime and failing to have surveillance cameras throughout the building. Since this incident, Paddock Mall has come under new ownership, CBL Properties. We reached out to them to ask if they have made any changes to safety and security measures. In a statement to News 6, they tell us in part, "While we don't publicly disclose details, we are committed to maintaining a comfortable and welcoming space for our tenants and our shoppers."
What do you want for your clients at the end of the day?
First and foremost, we want justice for what happened here. We want the mall to be held accountable, but ultimately the only thing my clients want is to get this message out that if you operate a business, whether it's a mall, a strip mall, a nightclub, an apartment complex, that if you do not take security seriously, you will be held accountable.
We also reached out to Washington Prime Group, Paddock Mall, and Allied Security. Allied Security told us they do not comment on pending litigation, and we are still waiting to hear back from Paddock Mall and Washington Prime Group. Now, I asked the new owners the big question: is the mall safer? They sent me a revised statement only adding that security is their top priority. Now, Ocala police tell me they have stepped up patrols at the mall since the shooting. I'm your Ocala community correspondent, Emily McLeod, News 6.
Well, tonight, a titan of the legal world is taking the big cheese in town to court.
All because Morgan & Morgan wants Mickey and Minnie Mouse to be for the people in a new ad. New in minutes, why that ad has led to legal action even before it can air.
As soon as I step in the water, my dog's in front of me, and this gator, probably 9 foot, starts out.
How close did it get to you?
Too close. Born and raised Florida, so I'm not really scared of them, but it was a little too close for comfort.
He and his dog survived a close call with a rowdy reptile. Next, some wonder if that gator is causing pets to go missing. You're watching News 6 at 10. Live on a Wednesday night, we're covering Leesburg, Melbourne Beach, and all of Central Florida. Now on News 6 and new at 10 tonight, he's the face of Walt Disney World, indeed the whole Walt Disney Company. But tonight, high-power attorney John Morgan's law firm wants Mickey to sell their services.
Yeah, Mickey is the star of Morgan & Morgan's newest ad, but it's already sparking a legal drama even before it airs.
This Morgan video was not approved, authorized, or endorsed by Disney.
So that's Mickey, a Steamboat Willie, crashing into a car driven by Minnie Mouse. And she knows just who to call. Pound Law is Morgan & Morgan's hotline number. You may notice Mickey and Minnie are drawn very, very carefully to look like they did in their 1928 debut. The copyright on Steamboat Willie ended last year, meaning it is now public domain.
So according to a new court filing, Morgan & Morgan asked Disney to confirm it would not sue them for using its stars. That did not happen. Now, Morgan & Morgan wants a judge to declare it safe for the law firm to use Steamboat Willie in their commercial.
Now, we have reached out to Disney for comment. We'll let you know when we hear back, and you can watch the full ad on clickorlando.com, which it is not what you're seeing right there.
All right, well, it's just a part of life in Florida. Here we go. We can start this story. I know our director is getting excited. Alligators are all over the place, at front doors, crossing roads, and in swimming pools. So when we tell you about one in Howell Creek in Winter Springs, it's not surprising.
But as News 6 viewer sent us this one and says it's aggressive and it's approaching people and pets. They spoke to our Seminole County community correspondent, Catherine Silver, to spread the word.
As soon as I step in the water, my dog's in front of me, and this gator, probably 9 foot, just darts out.
Noel Keller acted as soon as he saw the alligator in the afternoon at the Howell Creek Bridge trestle. He says the big gator was aggressive and wasn't afraid of getting too close.
It could have done some damage for sure.
How close did it get to you?
Too close. Born and raised Florida, so I'm not really scared of them, but it was a little too close for comfort.
This part of Howell Creek passes right under the trail. It's not just a popular place to walk or bike, it's also a popular place to swim. There's rope swings tied to the trees at this bend where kids often jump into the water.
Good thing I let go close to the sand, and then I just felt a tug on me.
2 years ago, a 13-year-old told News 6 a gator bit his hip in the same spot. He was there with his little brother.
In the moment, I was just like, it's like life or death.
And it's not just the people, it's the pets. We noticed this flyer, an 84-pound husky mix that went missing Sunday, an excellent swimmer.
So you just probably be extra cautious.
Howell Creek feeds right into Lake Jessup nearby, home to over 13,000 alligators, according to wildlife officials.
But it's just part of living in Central Florida.
I try to stay away from them. I don't want to taunt them. I just want to, if I see one, get away quick.
FWC has a nuisance alligator hotline they encourage anyone to call if an alligator is over 4 feet and it poses a threat to people, pets, or property.
I didn't report it because I wanted to get it removed or anything like that. I reported it because you're in their territory. So, I mean, if you're a kid, you always got to be responsible, have fun, but just always know that there could be something in that water.
In Winter Springs, Catherine Silver, News 6.
Time to get a check of that weather. We have meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joining us now. It was a pretty stormy day across much of Central Florida.
Split it in half, and on the southern end, we certainly saw the storms. There were just a few stray storms north of Orlando, but all the rock and stuff was pretty much just south of Kissimmee. On the north side of town, it was much lighter, but look at this, just to the west of Lake Toho, 3.5 inches of rain just about. Radar estimated the rainfall coming down again closer to the attractions, closer to Celebration, about 3 inches as well. Southern parts of Lake County, closer to Bushnell and Sumter County, picked up about 1 inch or 2, again, radar estimates. And then right on the Brevard Orange County line, radar estimating about 2.5 inches of rainfall tonight. Nice clean sweep right now. We should keep it that way as we get into the early morning hours. Just going to watch along the Space Coast for a few of those downpours that you see out over the Atlantic Ocean to try to push on shore. Want to show the high resolution future radar to show you what I'm talking about. And there's 2 o'clock in the morning with that flow still off the Atlantic. Don't be surprised again, as I just mentioned, for a couple of those downpours to push on shore early in the morning. Then I think we take a nice little break. We'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine. A day very similar to how it started out today, although a little bit of extra humidity. And then you see that flare up of storms, and then quickly we get them out of there. So while I do think storm chances are still elevated back to about 40% like what we saw today, I think they're quick to exit Central Florida again by the middle part of the evening coming up. Here's a live look, Port Canaveral in Brevard County tonight with our Launch Credit Union camera. Air temperatures into the mid-70s. The airport reporting a shower out there. The breeze at about 10 miles an hour. We are at 77 at Titusville. Kissimmee, good evening. We're at 74. Denellen checking in at 77. Palm Coast, hope you're doing well tonight. We're back into the mid-70s, although as we get into the mid-80s tomorrow. Here's the change. Again, if you stepped outside, you know the humidity went up a little bit, and that's what we're talking about again for tomorrow. The flow again changing as we're tapping into some of that tropical moisture. The heaviest stuff, the heaviest rain, going to be in South Florida. And again, some of that tries to inch up again, just like what it did today. In terms of the rainfall forecast tomorrow, again, a 40% shot. Take Central Florida, kind of slice it in half. Best chances are going to be south of Orlando again. I think we're on the drier side again, the further north. in west of Orlando you go. So pretty dry in Ocala tomorrow. Same for us in Denellen and the Villages. We're at 90 in Wildwood tomorrow afternoon. Latest on Gabrielle, we talked about Gabrielle in the earlier part of the show. Again, not a healthy storm at all. This one is no concern for Florida. You see the bend. It may brush Bermuda as a low-end hurricane. Should stay to the east even of Bermuda as we get into next week. Over the next 7 days, we're back to the upper 80s. Rain chances at 40% Thursday and Friday, going up a smidge. Over the weekend, we'll keep rain chances at about 40% early next work week.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. Well, have you had the chance to try the City Food Hall in Ivanhoe Village? Next at 10, I'll take you inside for a taste test of the must-tries in this week's I4 Food Tour.
I am dedicating this meal right here to my cardiologist. You can't walk 5 feet without tripping over a food hall these days. The question is the food any good? Today, we're testing it at City Food Hall. See what you should try. But before we get to that food, let's check out some RVs from our sponsor, Giant Recreation World. You gonna come to a food hall and not try the burger first? This is Smash Dunk Burger Place. Man, my blood pressure's rising already. That's really good. Crispy, buttery burger patties in there. Then you have the egg yolk dripping down with the bacon. Let me get a little more of this. This is just crispy little burger pancakes laid on top of each other. Ton of cheese in between. This is good. You gotta keep me away from this place. You can't eat it every day, but you can eat it sometimes, right? So right here, let's get a good look at these guys up close. These look really good. This is the bacon version of the egg dose. And this is the steak and eggs. And then look what they gave me on the side. Maple syrup. Get a good look. There's a healthy slathering of sauce on this guy. It's like some little fajita cheese, maybe? Okay, I'm a little scared. Okay. Oh, catch this. It's dripping. It's doing it. It's fantastic. It's delicious. Okay, this one has scrambled eggs, cheese, and some very crispy looking bacon. Slow-mo it. There we go. All right, enough of that. Something funny going on in here. The bread is almost like French toast. So it's like French toast, scrambled eggs, cheese, bacon, all in one. That's too much. Too much. So, this is a great little breakfast. So I just stuffed myself on a ridiculous cheeseburger, triple patty. I also hit egg dose here. Next week, we're gonna try 2 more, and I'm gonna tell you what I recommend you try when you come to the City Food Hall. That's next week on the I-4 Food Tour.
Sponsored by Giant Recreation World. Visit Giant Recreation World today.
40% shot for storms. Most of those are going to focus south of Orlando. Pretty much carbon copy what we had today, although I do think we have an earlier exit of those storms. 40% shot for rain right on through the weekend. Don't think it's a total loss by any means.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jonathan, and thank you for joining us. You can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus.
Have a great night.